Good morning, wrestling fans. Today is Thursday, March 9th, 2023. Work Thursday episode of GMWF. Unfortunately, no new episode of Wrestling Fanatic last night, so this morning, real quick, gonna talk about last night's AEW Dynamite. As Excalibur said at the top of the show, it's International Women's Day, and you know what that means. Well, last night was. Time to recap an all-new episode of AEW Dynamite, live from Sacramento, California. When I think of Sacramento, I always remember that that's the capital city of Sacramento, and the reason I know that is because of an episode of Full House when Joey was Michelle's substitute teacher that one time, and he was trying to get him to answer the question, what is the capital of California? And he says, I'll give you a hint. It starts with Sac and ends with Memento. And they still didn't say anything. But this isn't a Full House podcast, though. There is a good one you can listen to, though. But now back to AEW Dynamite from March 8th, 2023. And we start off with the Dynamite theme song playing to some highlights of last Sunday's Revolution pay-per-view, and then our opening match for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship, Orange Cassidy defending against Jay Lethal. I thought this was a very good match to start off this week's Dynamite. Both Orange Cassidy and Jay Lethal worked great in this match. Big fan of both, as I always say. Great match. And it is Orange Cassidy picking up the win, defeating Jay Lethal to retain the All-Atlantic Championship. Then after the match, Jay Lethal is upset on the ramp, and then from behind, Jeff Jarrett enters the ring and hits Orange Cassidy with a stroke and uses the guitar to smash the knee of Orange Cassidy. And skip ahead a little bit, we find out some news on the All-Atlantic Championship is that there will be no more All-Atlantic Championship. Tony Khan announces that the championship will be renamed the AEW International Championship. And next week, Orange Cassidy will defend against Jeff Jarrett in Winnipeg. New championship. Well, I don't know if you can call it really a new championship. A new name for it anyway. The AEW International Championship. Orange Cassidy and Jeff Jarrett next week. And also, we have Renee Paquette in the ring with Ruby Soho. And she talks about her decision to turn against the AEW Women's Champion Jamie Hayter and Dr. Britt Baker. She talks about how she came into AEW and she faced Dr. Britt Baker at Grand Slam, and the people were happy that Dr. Britt Baker defeated her. And she talks about being booed, and then when she faced Jamie Hayter for the Women's Championship, she was booed. And then She is in action next against Sky Blue. Soho gets the win here. And after the match, Soho's new friends, Saraya and Toni Storm, come out. It's a 3-on-1 attack. And then Willow Nightingale, who recently has been teaming with Ruby Soho, comes out to make the save for Sky Blue, but the numbers are too much. And they attack both of them and spray paint them in the middle of the ring. And then Dr. Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter come out. And next up we have a trios match. The Jericho Appreciation Society, Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, Sammy Guevara defeat the team of AR Fox and Top Fox, as I called them yesterday. Pretty good match here. And now Chris Jericho says him, Guevara, and Garcia want a shot at the AEW Trios Championships. They call out the House of Black, but instead the Elite come out, and then the lights go out, and the House of Black appear. They pretty much say they will take on both of the teams. The Blackpool Combat Club defeat the Dark Order. Claudio and John Moxley defeating John Silver and Alex Reynolds. Then after the match, Wheeler Yuta joins in for a post-match attack. And then we see Evil Uno come out. But then the numbers are too much. And then we see Hangman Adam Page make the save for the Dark Order. So this feud between Hangman and Moxley might not be over just yet. And the news broke just a couple days ago that the new AEW TNT champion Wardlow, his car was broken into, his gear was stolen, and also the AEW TNT championship stolen as well. And right now in the main event of Dynamite, he's taking on the winner of the Face of the Revolution ladder match, Powerhouse Hobbs. And Wardlow had to borrow some gear from Dax Harwood, it looked like, or Cash Wheeler, FTR. And he makes it a Falls Count Anywhere match. So they start off in the parking lot, and then eventually they brawl out into the arena. Good match, hard hitting, as you would expect with these two big men. And at one point, it looks like Wardlow is going to try for the Powerbomb Symphony off the stage, but then he is attacked by QT Marshall, and that allows Powerhouse Hobbs to get the advantage, and the two of them double powerbomb Wardlow off the stage through a thing that was set up. And then the referee does the 10 count. Wardlow is out. And the new AEW TNT champion already, Powerhouse Hobbs. Now it looks like Powerhouse will be aligned with QT Marshall, which I think Hobbs could be a good heel. He was at one time when he was with Team Taz. And then lately, it kind of looked like they were turning him babyface. But now it looks like another heel turn for Powerhouse Hobbs. And I'm guessing this is going to be the feud, Wardlow and Powerhouse. At first, I thought when they were talking about Wardlow's car being broken into, I thought they were going to turn that into an angle where Samoa Joe did it to try to get the TNT Championship back. But that did not happen. And maybe now they'll keep Samoa Joe mainly on Ring of Honor as the Ring of Honor television champion. That will remain to be seen. So that's all for this episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. Thank you for listening wherever you are listening at. Tonight, what we have in store, Impact Wrestling on Access TV, followed by New Japan Pro Wrestling. Also, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, a new episode of Ring of Honor Television on Honor Club tonight. The second week, if it's like week 1, it will be a good episode. Week 1 was very good. So I definitely recommend checking it out like I talked about last week. And hopefully, I know I didn't do one last night or Monday night, but I hope to have new episodes of 360 Wrestling Fanatic real soon. So stay tuned for that. But we'll be back tomorrow for the Friday episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans right here on Spreaker or wherever you listen to the podcast. But until then, remember, keep watching pro wrestling.